Hi, this is Aaron of aaronjmarks.com. I'm a visionary purpose coach and metaphysical leadership mentor. I hope you're doing well today. This post is called Overthinking versus Underthinking. Now, in coaching, it's fashionable, I notice, to encourage people to get into imperfect action, not to overthink things, get out of analysis paralysis. And sometimes that's what's needed. Sometimes we have to brainstorm and get very creative and not judge things too much. But I noticed the opposite problem just as pervasively. There is a problem of underthinking. And when you underthink things, you get all these contradictions in your premises. It's like you get all these things that cannot be true at the same time. And as leaders and creatives, we have to make things that work in the real world. All the premises must line up. And, everything that everyone thinks and participates in has to ultimately be congruent. Now, this is a highly idealized state of creation. It's ultimately it's not attainable, but what I notice is that there are key contradictions within the thought processes of a lot of leaders that keep them from making the progress that they need to, and keep the communication from being as clear and effective as it needs to be in order to create these things. So what I conclude is that overthinking may be a problem for some. It's a problem if you constantly obsess and worry about your next step and don't get started. But underthinking is just as much of a problem when we start implementing this strategy, and don't consider all the contradictions in the strategic calculations that we're making about how it has to exist in the real world. So underthinking, that's a problem. Some people are incredibly thoughtful and they think deeply, but they don't overthink, right? So the great philosophers are like this. Great entrepreneurs like Henry Ford and Elon Musk are like this too. They have intensely thinking heavy processes, but we don't call them overthinking because their stuff works in the outside world. It works on every level. It works on the engineering level, works on the marketing level, works on the financial level. And, there's a lot of plates to spin. That's not to say that it's always going to be perfect, but, there is an essential value to thinking correctly. And so we cannot overthink so much that it stops us and, we get lost in analysis paralysis, but we cannot underthink either, so that, our ideas and our strategies have integrity and actually work when implemented on the ground. So that's overthinking versus underthinking. Very important concept. And I will see you in the next post.